Hey, I know you're hurting right now. She's gone, and it feels like your world collapsed overnight. You're replaying every conversation in your head, every moment you shared, trying to figure out what you could have done differently, what you could have said to make her stay. You might feel like there's a constant weight in your chest, like you can't breathe properly, and every small reminder of her hits you like a wave you can't swim through. It's tempting to grab your phone, send that text, pour your heart out, or call her late at night hoping she'll pick up and everything will magically go back to the way it was. But let me tell you something you need to hear right now. That's not the move. Chasing her right now, trying to fix things from a place of desperation, will only push her further away. The way you truly win, the way you take your power back, is not by chasing her, but by becoming the man she realizes she lost, the man you were always meant to become, the man who is too focused on his purpose to beg for someone to stay. You see, when you're in this pain, your mind is stuck in the loop of, why me? Why did she leave? Why wasn't I enough? Why did this happen now when you were planning a future together? But you need to flip that mindset completely and start asking yourself, what's next? This moment, as painful as it feels, is a crossroads. Most men will get stuck here, letting the heartbreak define them for years, living in the past, haunted by memories and what-ifs. But that's not going to be you. You are going to use this pain as fuel, as a wake-up call to become better, sharper, stronger. You need to understand something deep. Women often leave not because you're a bad person, but because the emotional spark and mystery start to fade. When a relationship becomes too predictable, when there's no challenge, when you're always available and she knows exactly what to expect from you, the excitement dies. It's not about being someone else, and it's not always your fault. People change, situations change, but you need to understand that comfort can breed complacency, and complacency is the death of attraction. Think about it like this. Why do people stop watching a TV show they once loved? Because it becomes predictable, and there's no anticipation left. Relationships work in the same way. If you were always there, always responding instantly, always available whenever she needed you, without any boundaries or sense of self, it can create a dynamic where she stops feeling the pull she once felt toward you. But here's the good news. The fact that you're here now, seeking to understand and grow from this, means you are already ahead of most people who would just numb themselves and avoid growth. By recognizing this, by shifting your mindset from why me to what's next, you take the first powerful step toward reclaiming your identity and your life. You're not meant to be stuck in the past, replaying moments that no longer serve you. You're meant to evolve into the man who isn't afraid of loss because he knows who he is, what he's capable of, and what he brings to the table. This is your starting point. From here, everything changes if you allow it to. Now, here's where most guys mess up, and you need to hear this before you do the same. They panic, and the fear of losing her forever makes them chase her, call her repeatedly, send long emotional texts late at night, try to remind her of all the good times, beg for a second chance, promise they will change, and think if they just say the right words, she will come back. But you need to understand that when you chase her like this, you are pushing her further away, not bringing her closer. Because the reality is, distance creates desire. Space creates curiosity. It's a law of human psychology. What is always there becomes taken for granted, but what is scarce becomes valuable. When you step back, when you stop trying to force her to come back, you give her room to actually miss you. You give her the space to start wondering what you are doing, who you are becoming, and whether she made the right decision when she walked away. You need to understand the power of the no contact rule and see it not as a manipulation tactic, but as a reset for yourself and your life. This period of stepping back is not about sitting around waiting for her to come back. It's about using this time to get your mind clear, to heal, to refocus on your goals, and to become the best version of yourself. This space allows you to detach emotionally and regain your sense of power. Because let's be honest, when you're constantly checking your phone, waiting for her to text, stalking her social media, and wondering who she's with, you are giving your power away to someone who has already left your life. You're allowing your mind to be controlled by her decisions rather than by your own intentions. Remember, distance also changes the dynamic between you and her. When you step back and stop reaching out, she starts to notice your absence. She will start questioning why you are not calling, why you are not sending her those long messages anymore, and why you are suddenly silent when she expected you to be chasing her. This creates a shift in her mind, and that curiosity can lead to doubt about her decision. She may have thought you would always be there waiting, and your silence disrupts that narrative. This is not about trying to manipulate her emotions or making her jealous. It is about taking a step back to reclaim your emotional independence, proving to yourself that you are capable of living and thriving without her validation. By doing this, you are showing that your happiness does not depend on her presence, that you respect yourself enough to give her space, and that you value yourself enough to walk away instead of begging to stay. This is strength. This is discipline. And this is the foundation that will prepare you for everything that comes next. This distance is not just for her to miss you. It's for you to remember who you are and to find your center again, so you can build a life that excites you, with or without her. Now that you've created distance, it's time to use this period to transform yourself into the man you respect, the man you know you're capable of becoming. This isn't about pretending to be someone else just to get her attention. This is about becoming the version of yourself that commands respect, not only from her, but more importantly, from yourself. This is your time to rebuild, to take all the energy you were pouring into her and invest it back into yourself. Start with your physical transformation. You don't need to train just to look good for her. You need to train to prove to yourself that you can commit to discipline, to structure, and to pushing yourself past your limits. The gym becomes your therapy, your battlefield, and your mirror for progress. Each rep, each drop of sweat, each day you show up becomes evidence that you are not stuck, that you are moving forward, and that you are taking control of your body and your mind. But it's not only about the physical, it's about your mental evolution too. You need to feed your mind with knowledge, discipline, and new challenges. Read books, learn skills, dive into interests you've always put off, and expand your mind. It could be as simple as waking up earlier to journal and set your intentions for the day, or as big as starting that side hustle you've always talked about but never acted on. Every moment you spend working on yourself is a moment you are moving further away from the version of yourself that was lost in that relationship, waiting for her validation. This self-investment shows that you are not stagnant, that you are constantly evolving, and that you are someone who is not defined by a breakup, but strengthened by it. There's a psychological phenomenon called the halo effect, where when you improve yourself physically, it changes how people perceive your other qualities, making you more attractive, more confident, and more magnetic in all areas of your life. When you align your physical growth with your mental growth, you become unstoppable. You walk into a room differently. You speak with more conviction. You look people in the eyes without hesitation. You radiate an energy that people can't quite describe but feel instantly. And she will notice this shift too. Not because you are trying to prove something to her, but because true self-transformation is undeniable. This is how you become unpredictable in the best way possible. The man who is constantly evolving, not stuck in the past, but building a life that is exciting, challenging, and aligned with your purpose. This is your moment to step into your power fully, to redefine your identity, and to ensure that no matter what happens, you will never lose yourself again for anyone.